Boys. First and foremost, I haven't been making videos. I've been sick for the last week, but this Jake Paul and Mike Tyson situation is so out of control that I had no choice but to jump in and talk about this. And real quick, before we get into this, peep my Mike Tyson in Undisputed Boxing. Shout out to Elusive Donkey on YouTube. I totally followed his video and copied his makeup of Mike Tyson, and it's pretty damn good. But anyways, let's get back to it. I truly think that this fight is an absolute disaster of an event. It's honestly sad, and it makes Jake Paul look like an even worse person given his history. If we recap the situation, Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury in a decision, and then he fights two nobodies to try and earn some respect in the boxing world, and no one cared. No one even knew these fights happened. Literally, you could ask anybody, no one had any idea. And at this point, Jake Paul realizes his own point of relevancy is to continue fighting retired fighters that we all hope is going to knock him out. And the thing is, in Mike Tyson's most recent fight against Roy Jones Jr., it was an exhibition match. Mike Tyson wasn't going balls to the wall despite his training videos displaying that. He was in great shape. He was killing it. He looked kind of like prime Mike Tyson, which is truly scary given his age. But in terms of that fight, he really wasn't competitive. He wasn't going out there trying to take off Roy Jones Jr.'s head. It's clear there was a mutual respect there, and we just got to see some old legends duke it out. Now, once again, we have Mike Tyson posting some training videos, and he looks like a beast. But it seems like his fight against Jake Paul is another exhibition match from what I can see online. Regardless, looking at these training videos, he's posting them on Instagram, he looks like an animal. And I really have some hope, but ultimately, this is clearly a huge financial deal since it's going to be live streamed on Netflix. And Netflix conveniently released a Jake Paul documentary to promote this event. And on a side note, I actually took time out of my day to watch it. Yes, I really took time out of my day to watch a Jake Paul documentary, and it was awful. Logan Paul was still acting like a jealous brother, making subtle jabs. Logan and Jake both mentioned that their dad was abusive growing up, and then they quickly cut to interviewing the dad, who explains he was quote-unquote hard on them growing up, which was just really awkward. I was expecting Jake Paul to be more authentic and thought this documentary was going to kind of like show that Jake Paul is a decent person, but it really didn't at all. It felt awkward, it felt forced, and Jake Paul didn't seem genuine at all. It just talked about how incredibly hard his upbringing was as a landscaper when we all know that isn't true. Now, we have to watch Jake Paul box Mike Tyson, who is 30 years older than Jake Paul. Even if Mike Tyson keeps his punching power, his ability to absorb punches went downhill a long time ago. Like, if you really think about it, the prime age for fighting, anything above 40 years old, you're getting in risky territory for absorbing some big hits and not being able to handle them. It's truly sad. If Jake Paul wins, he looks like a complete knob. There's no possible way Jake Paul will look like a good person if he beats Mike Tyson. Seriously. The only bright side to this fight is the possibility of Mike Tyson knocking him out cold, and I truly don't think that's going to happen. Given Jake Paul's history of implementing random clauses in fight contracts, there is a huge chance Mike Tyson won't do too much, and we're probably going to get another boring fight. What's even sadder is that everyone is still going to watch this fight with the hope that it'll be something more than it actually is. It goes to show Jake Paul will only maintain relevancy for as long as somebody we like is willing to try and knock him out. The problem is, Jake Paul's the guy that gets to choose who he wants to fight, so he's only going to choose people he knows he has a decent chance of surviving. I do have a small amount of hope for Mike Tyson winning due to the few clips I've seen of him on different podcasts saying he'd absolutely murder Jake Paul in a fight. And we know Mike Tyson is a savage, and he's a completely different person when it comes to fighting. And I'm truly hoping we get to see that from him in this fight, but I really don't think it's going to happen. Overall, I'm sad to see that this fight is even happening. While I have hope that we get to see Jake Paul get dropped, I'm still not happy with it happening. It's probably going to be boring and a waste of our time. And if Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson, I'm truly scared for the internet's reaction. Nobody wants to see that happen. All we can do is pray that Mike Tyson sends Jake Paul to the Shadow Realm. And on another quick side note, this fight being booked has caused so much controversy between the Paul brothers in general. Logan Paul was acting like he was denying a fight with Mike Tyson and he was asked first. Now I'm seeing something in the media about him trying to box Floyd Mayweather again and that he can beat him. It's like the level of insecurity and competitiveness between the two is beyond pathetic. Logan Paul cannot accept Jake Paul making more money than him and doing better than him, and it is a sight to see. It's probably the only time you can actually see Jake Paul be humble and normal and a likable person is when his brother is shitting on him so hard he has no choice but to be a decent person and call out his own brother, Logan, for being ridiculous. It's just such an out-of-pocket situation. You have Jake Paul that's trying to promote improving fighter pay, starting a boxing organization and trying to revive the sport and all of these things. He has the previous CFO of the UFC as his business partner. They're quote unquote making these big moves. But at the same time, you have Logan Paul tearing it down out of jealousy. And ultimately, it's just ridiculous. It really is. They're trying to revive a sport, but they're the two most hated individuals on the internet aside from Neon at this point. And it's just annoying to be a part of. While they are bringing more viewership to the sport in general, it just became a whole YouTube fad for these influencers to jump in the boxing ring. And good on them for their health and wanting to take on some form of martial arts and learning how to defend themselves and whatnot. But it is making a joke of boxing, and boxing is already dying. It really is. You only have so many characters at this point. And let's not even talk about Ryan Garcia. It's not even worth covering at this point. We all know he's losing his absolute mind. But what do you guys think? I mean, personally, I think that this is just a massive media move. And it's evident if you search Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson on YouTube, there are so many videos out already covering every little detail. It's clearly a big money grab for everyone. And while I'm happy that Mike Tyson gets that, I'm sad that it's with Jake Paul. I think this is a horrible reflection of Jake Paul's character. We all know why he's doing it. We all know he's not authentic or genuine. He's just working for the money. His last two fights with nobodies, it wasn't on the internet at all. No one had any idea about it, and it was quite honestly sad. We were just watching the demise of Jake Paul's career right before our eyes, or literally we weren't watching at all. We just hadn't heard from him in a while, and it was amazing. And based off of everything I've seen on the internet thus far, it's clear nobody's happy about this. There's still those people that are hopeful and happy because they want to see Jake Paul get knocked out. But no one's happy that Jake Paul's fighting an old legend 30 years older than him in an exhibition match. It's kind of pathetic. You can't preach that you're a real boxer and that you've been training for X amount of years and you're, deserving and commanding respect and all of these things. And then you keep fighting retired boxers to maintain relevancy. It's sad, it's pathetic, and quite honestly, I'm sick of it. I really am. Can we just put Jake Paul in the game already? Let's put him in undisputed boxing so we can all knock him out and feel better about ourselves. The fame based on hate is just, it's getting so old. I'm tired of it. Let's move on to fun and exciting and positive things that we all actually want to watch rather than just having the media fuel the hate for Jake Paul and keeping him relevant. It's beyond annoying. Everybody loves Mike Tyson, and he's an absolute legend, so of course everybody wants to see him fight again. But this is the cold hard truth of combat sports. You have to let legends move on with their lives. You can't keep bringing them back trying to relive watching their prime era. It just doesn't work that way. We have to respect Mike Tyson for what he did in his career and love him and know him as the legend he always was and leave it there. Don't bring him back. Don't fuel this media event and watch everything. It is not worth it. It really isn't. We don't want to see Mike Tyson's health go more south than it probably already is, given the fact that he had a career in combat sports. We have to let the legends move on and enjoy the remainder of their lives. You don't bring in a man that's on the verge of being a grandpa, if he isn't already, just to watch him fight a dude that's in his prime health as a young adult. It's sad. It's ridiculous. With that being said, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please feel free to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye.